Ooh, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. Oh, I almost said Friday night, but it is Saturday night. We're so used to being on Fridays, so this is a one of. So, welcome to
Sure.
Hockey Stick Talk Nation with me, Dan. And you might not know this guy, but you might recognize the name. This is the show's sponsor, Tsnumai Sports Cards. This is Kai, everyone. This is
Nice
the
to meet you guys.
guy I've been pushing and pushing and pushing for all you guys to start buying stuff from him, and we finally get him on. It's been time in the making, but we finally made it work, eh, Kai?
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure to be here. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Um, but yeah, man, I'm very happy to be here and share my time with you guys.
Awesome. Now you guys get to see the face behind the name too as well. We're going
Yes,
to be
sir.
diving into a lot of stuff tonight, so it's going to be a great show. But as always, let's just give a quick shout out to everyone who's popping in here tonight. We got a few people in here so far. We'll probably get some more trickling in. But I want to give a big shout out to Robert Pop Springs. Thanks for coming, Robert. You're always here. You always comment. You always leave a comment even after the show. So thank you for coming, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Dewey,
sir.
another great one who's always here at every show. Thanks so much for being here, Dewey. We got Matthew Pitsley. What's going on, Matthew? We have National Parks Princess. What's going on, National Parks Princess? Thanks for being here.
Guys.
We have Dig It, my good friend from Canadian. He is he's just starting his Cole Caulfield collection, so stay tuned for that. We
Very
have
expensive.
my other good buddy, and Kai's other who he sponsors, and that's Maiden's World of Wax. What's going on, Maiden? Thanks
What's
for
up,
being here
Maiden?
tonight, buddy.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
showing up, Maiden.
We have Ultimate Sports Cards, Brandon, my good friend. If you want to see good in-depth of card reviews of what's coming out for each set, go check out Ultimate Sports Cards, Brandon. He is so good at what he does, and he's actually going to be on next Friday, so check him out. And we're scrolling down just so I don't want to miss anyone. What's going on, Barry? Barry, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. You're always here as well. So thank you. Appreciate it. Dig already starting in. Did Tsunami just say expensive to the Cole Caulfield PC?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, I've been trying to find Cole Caulfield. He is expensive. Like the good stuff, if you want the good stuff, dude, you're gonna spend some money. I'm telling you right now, for sure.
So we're going to do things a little bit differently. We do have Kai here tonight, but usually we start out the show with the sponsor shout out. But today, since the sponsor's here, we're going to move that to the end when we go in and learn about a little bit about Kai. But let's bring up the today's slide, and we're going to talk about some of the trades that happened. Because if you guys don't know, Kai is a huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan. He has a huge PC. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later tonight with them as well. So, but we're going to go over the trade deadline for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They made a couple big trades, couple trades that'll help them out here and there. But so the Lightning trade Michael Eastmont, a 2025 second round pick, 2026 first round pick, and a 2027 first round pick to the Kraken to bring back Yanni Gourde and Oliver Bjorkstrand, and they also get a 2026 fifth round pick and Kyle Aucoin. So Kai, I know you're a huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan. What do you think of Yanni Gourde coming back with Oliver Bjorkstrand?
I mean, I'm honestly like, I was over the roof. Like, when I found out about that, I think one of our best lineups was the 2020 Stanley Cup run lineup. Like, I mean, that lineup was dominant, and Yanni Gourde was a huge part of that lineup. So having him back with all of these new, fresh faces, I think is just going to add a huge energy to the team. That's going to really boost them past the playoffs. I am a little upset about Mikey Easimont. I am a personal fan of Mikey Easimont. I got to meet him personally at the place that I work at. So he signed something for me. I literally fangirled out when I saw him. I was like, oh my God, like you're him. And my entire staff watched me. It was spectacular. But So seeing him on a different team, it's a little upsetting, but I understand that, it had to be done for this to happen. So I fully support this. Oliver Bjorkstrand, also phenomenal player. I mean, he scored his first time in the uni. Like that's phenomenal. Um, I didn't even expect that, so I can only imagine what he's gonna hold out for the rest of the season. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a good run this year. It's gonna be a good run.
Definitely. And for anyone in the chat too, if you haven't been following, Oliver Bjorkstrand is probably right now was one of the best players on the Seattle Kraken right now. And that was a low key move that no one's really talking about. That's going to pay off huge here in the long run for Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. And I hope even then, if Yanni Gore doesn't end up signing for the continuation of next season or beyond that, I think you should definitely keep Oliver. I mean, he's young, he's healthy, and he's got a good understanding of the game and how it works. So I think he's definitely a good pickup for sure.
Definitely. And then Tampa Bay also placed Cam Atkinson on waivers, which you kind of understood why, because you're bringing in Yanni Gourde and Oliver Bjorkstrand.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they also signed Logan Brown to a 1-year contract as well to solidify the AHL team a little bit and a call-up if they need it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Logan Brown is good. He plays a lot during the preseason, and he gets the guys going. So that's not too bad to sign him for another year. Cam Atkinson, I'm not going to say much. I haven't felt too good about him this year. I felt like he hasn't really contributed much to the team. Like, I barely even see him out on the ice. So placing him on waivers, not a problem. Not a problem for me.
Then we had a little minor league deal here with the Rangers and the Lightning. So the Lightning traded Lucas Edmonds to the Rangers for Ryder Korczak. And as a Rangers fan, I can tell you, Ryder Korczak, if he gets playing time, is going to be an absolute stud player.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But it was a bunch of AHL deals, but if he does get up, he's going to be an absolute stud there. He'll be nothing more than a third line, fourth line guy, but he's going to be one of those guys like,
He'll be definitely he'll be strong on the third.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. So,
and he can shoot, he can shoot, which is a good thing to have as well. So that's a little bit of the Lightning. They didn't really do a whole lot, but their biggest pickup was Yanni Gourde and Oliver Bjorkstrand, really. So they low-keyed, stayed low, but they built up for their top 6 even that much more. Even their top 12.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next slide here. This is our community shout-out. So we got 4 great channels here on the slide. We have Bills and Mafia. Go check him out. We have Girl Dad Cards, another great YouTuber under sub. Go check them out as well. We have Southern Boys. They're just getting into hockey. Great stuff over there. Go check them out. We have your friend, the Ripping channel. Go check him out. He's a great dude. I love Rip. So go check him out. And then we also have Xavier Wren. Another great channel, all really undersubbed. Go give them a sub, and let's get them up. But yeah, so now we're going to get into our guest spotlight. So tonight is going to be all about our guests tonight, guys. So any great questions you guys have, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll ask Kai. We're going to learn a little bit about eBay tonight, how the seller's portion of it works. Same with Whatnot. As you can see, Kai's up there. I got his eBay store, TsunamiSportsCards.com. And if you use code DMHockey88, you'll save 25 off your first purchase. So check that out. Use that code. And also check Whatnot on Tsunami Sports Cards as well.
Absolutely.
But let's bring up on the big screen here.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, guys. Hope everybody's having a good night for sure.
No worries. I see we already had a dig question here. He said his favorite Cole Caulfield card I have is Rookie of the Cheddar.
Ooh. Okay. See, you got a good start there. Now, if you're, like I said, if you want to collect the big stuff, the big the jerseys, the juicy one of ones. I'm telling you, I've looked. I probably sold Cole Caulfield inserts for way more than they probably would, just because it's his name. So it's a fun chase, though. I will say, most of the best chases in this hobby have to do with the most expensive player, like Connor Bedard. Like that's been the craziest chase right now. Now it's Lane Hudson and Matvey Mishkov. Like, so I would say you're definitely heading up a good route with having fun in the hobby and chasing cards, and really when you pull that card and you get that excitement, you want to scream, you want to show it to everybody, you want to jump. It's definitely on there for you.
Dig wants to know, do you know what his Young Gun's worth now?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. If I had to put an estimate, raw, I would probably say probably were somewhere between 90 to like 150 raw, depending on the condition, seller, all that, blah blah blah. A gem mint 10, like a PSA 10, easily maybe 300-400. Um, like I said, just depends on conditions, if it's graded and all that. But yeah, I mean, his cards are definitely, he's a hot player, like that's all it is. He's really hot. He's really good. He's young. He's sparky. So people want him. So that's the fun
Definitely.
in this.
So, Kai, first question we'll
Yes,
ask
sir.
you and get it out of the way is, how did you get started?
So how did I get started? So for me, I mean, I didn't start any crazy way. When I was a kid, I definitely used to be like a huge Pokemon kid. I used to collect like Pokemon cards and stuff. So I was familiar with ripping packs and the cards, but I had never tried sports. Never ever had I opened sports, and I didn't think that was a huge thing. I mean, I knew basketball or baseball cards were a thing, like with the gum and all that, but I thought that was like a thing of the past, right? Um, so I mean, I would say probably about a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago, I was on TikTok and I was watching people open up Pokemon cards, which is funny how this started, right? So I'm watching people open these cards and these dudes are getting excited hitting these cards, right? I'm like, oh, like that's pretty cool. Um, so something in me was like, search up like hockey cards, see if they have anything cool for hockey cards. So then, boom, the first video that pops up, dude pulls I think it was right when they released the extended series for series Upper Deck series extended series, the 23-24 extended series with the one of one gold outburst. And this dude was sitting there trying to rip packs, and I believe it was the day that Skull and Steel hit it on Whatnot. They pulled one of the gold outbursts of Connor Bedard. So I watched that video. I'm watching everybody go crazy in the comments. I'm like, wow, that looks like fun. So, I mean, from there, I started like YouTubing it, and I was like, like where could I find sports cards? So I would look up around me, like, where can I find sports cards? So I'm looking Walmart, I'm looking Target, but I couldn't find any. I was having such a hard time finding any kind of sports cards. So I'm like, oh man, like, oh well, like, whatever. I give it up. One day, me and my wife were out shopping, and we're at Lids, right? I'm like, oh, like I want to get a new hat. I want to get some more Tampa Bay Lightning gear. The
But
center
yeah,
just
goes in the house from
oh
England. What's going on, Goza? Thanks, buddy, for being here.
yeah, Goza. Shout out to Goza. He likes all my posts, literally every single post. So shout out to him. But yeah, no. So we were at Lids, and I was just looking for more gear. I kind of approached the counter, and boom, standing in front of me was a box of 2023 to 24 MVP. Nothing crazy. It was like that's like the stuff you get for like kids and stuff. It's very cheap. You can hit good rookie cards, but they're not really valuable. Um, so I got that. I probably bought like three blaster boxes. Took them home and I just sat there and ripped packs and just started sorting them by team. Like, oh, that's a cool card. I didn't know what meant what. I didn't know anything, right? So a little bit of time passes on. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm watching what people are doing, how they're acquiring cards. And people are like, yeah, check out your local card store. I'm like, I can't imagine that would exist still, right? So I look up, boom, there's a card store literally 2 miles away from my house. I'm like, say less, I'm there. I drive over, um, and I go into the store, and I'm just like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, oh my God. these cards look so beautiful. Like he had autographs, he had um, patches, he had all kinds of stuff. So I'm just looking at all this stuff and I'm just mesmerized. I felt like I was in front of the players, being able to see like a card signed by certain people or a patch by another person. Like just being able to see all these cards was just so overwhelming in a good way that I had to keep doing it. Like it almost became an addiction immediately. Um, I actually remember the first card that I bought that day. I do have it with me. So I'll show that one in a little bit. But yeah, ever since that day, I probably have had one of the most expensive addictions in the world, which is sports cards. Like I can't get enough every day. That's all I do. That's all I think. I love it. It's an absolute pleasure to be a part of this hobby and to get to know what it is for it, or to get to know it for what it is today. Absolute pleasure. But yeah,
Awesome.
that's pretty much it.
And then, as if some of you might not know how we met, so Tsunami Kai messaged me on
Hmm.
Instagram. He's like, "Hey, I got these cards for sale," and I was like, I don't buy, but I'm looking for a sponsor." And he goes, "Done." He's like, "I'll
Yeah,
sponsor
so
the show." So when we first started, Kai only had one card on
yeah,
listed.
I literally probably when I met Dan, I probably had maybe like one or two cards listed. I had just freshly started my Instagram, so literally anybody that would follow me, I would personally send them a message like, "Hey, this is what I have. Like, this is my store. If you have any questions, please let me know." Um, so to let them know that I'm a person, like I'm here. Like, if you have any questions, like I'm here to do deals. Like, I'm a real thing. And yeah, Dan approached me with that opportunity. I was like, dude, let's do it. Like, I'm new. You're just getting started with all this, but you were a little bit more into it than I was. But I was like, let's do it. Let's work together. Let's see what we can do. I'm all about working with people for sure. I absolutely love working with other people. I don't think anything should be enjoyed alone. You know what I mean? I think,
Definitely.
a lot of these things, especially like this hobby. This hobby is not a private thing. Like these people who have these cards in private collections to me is so crazy. Like I want to literally buy shelves everywhere in my house just display them. Like my wife has told me that's the only one I get up there. That's it. All the other ones have to stay in my office. So
And two, like, big thank you to everyone in the chat because you guys have helped Kai out a lot. You've helped the stream
absolutely,
out a lot. Like, I noticed all you guys have followed him on Instagram, which is amazing. So I can't thank the
yeah,
chat enough for all the
me
help
either.
that you guys gave it, both me and him. So thank you very much, Chad. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. I literally asked Dan. I'll literally text him like, dude, somebody bought something with your code, and we'll both just be so excited. We'll be like, woo, you know. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun.
And we are also talking for all the Canadians in here. I know Cott does. It says that he charges for a Canadian, but we actually talked, and he will do letter mail to you guys in Canada as well, so it'll cost you less.
Absolutely. Guys, don't feel free to message me. I am always near my computer. If not, I always have my phone with eBay available. If not, Instagram. Uh, Rangers cards. I actually have a pretty cool one to show you for Rangers.
Stay
Um,
tuned,
but
Goza.
but you know, I don't mind doing that. If you guys want to send me a message either on Instagram, on eBay, whatnot, whatever it is that you use to buy your cards, shoot me a message. Let me know, hey, I'm interested in all these cards. I can literally put them all in one bundle, send it in one little envelope, and we'll get it to you for much cheaper. I mean, it really doesn't cost me much on my side, and we'll definitely get the cards out to you. I know, like I was telling Dan, I know Canada is probably the biggest fan base for hockey and hockey cards. So if you guys want cards that I have, if you guys see what you like, talk to me. Let me know what you guys are looking for, what you guys like. We can definitely do deals. And at the end of the day, guys, it's not about the money. If there's a player you really like and you really want that card for your collection, come talk to me. We'll make a deal. I also do trades. I love doing trades. Like I love getting cards rather than money, honestly. That's more cards I can show off and, get to somebody else's hands that's gonna love it. So we definitely can make deals with all my Canadian family up there in the north.
Definitely. Thanks for coming, Aaron. We appreciate you here, buddy. Thank you so much. And Kai's going to show off some of his inventory here a little bit later too. Some of his PC cards as well. So stay tuned for that. I know he's got more Ranger cards coming. So stay
Yeah,
tuned for that as
I
well.
definitely have. I have a little tiny stack of Ranger cards right now, but they're coming. I'm always constantly stocking up inventory going to shows. So, and if people let me know too, like if you're like, hey, I'm a huge like Red Wings fan or a huge Rangers fan, and you like certain players or just that team, I'll let you know first when I have the cards before all of eBay sees it, before whatnot sees
Sports
it.
cards and things. Aaron is a huge Ducks fan.
Ooh, Ducks fan. See, I'm doing a trade with a good buddy of mine right now on Instagram that wants Duck cards. But I'll show you some of they're actually pretty cool. I'll show you some of the few that we got in this trade deal. So I have like this Troy Terry outburst. This one's pretty sick. Um, I got this one in there for him.
Oh,
It's
nice.
Emerson Etten. It's a rookie card too. It's super sick.
That is nice.
And then you know, our last deal actually went a little south. Like his envelope actually ended up getting stolen in the mail. So, neither here nor there of our fault. But I felt really bad and I told him I was like, dude, I want to take care of you. So I'm sending him this card for free as a little I'm sorry and thank you for being part of us. It's a Ruby Artifacts Kale Mokar number to 299, I believe. 399.
Nice.
So I'm sending that one over to him, just to show him I'm sorry because, even though it's nobody's fault, like I don't like people to not have their cards. So what sport is the hottest seller right now? Dude, uh, football and baseball. Basketball's been up there too with Bring Out the Burke. I actually just sold one. That's so funny. And see,
We
with some of
have
these cards, I get in and out real quick.
Authority Cards in the house. Thanks for coming in here, Authority Cards. Appreciate you.
Doric, what's up? What's up?
We
The-
got
I, this guy, yeah, that's literally the guy I'm doing the Ducks deal with. That's my guy right there. What's up,
awesome.
Ethric? Yeah,
We got
he's
Budget
super
Rips in the
cool guy.
house too. Thanks for coming in, Budget.
Budget, what's up, Budget?
Um, Aaron said last night he pulled a sick Evan Bouchard green PMG auto.
Oh wow, wow, you better hold on to that. Hold on to that. The PMGs are very, very, very sought out for. I had a
And two
guy that wants a
guys,
huge.
if you can't find Tsunami on Instagram, feel free to message me and I'll get in touch with him for you. I'll send you guys his stuff so you guys can
Yeah,
get in touch
absolutely,
as well.
absolutely. I'm
Because
like I
I'm
said, I'm
talking to
always available.
Kai every week pretty much. So
Yeah, shoot me a message. Like I said, I'm always available for questions. I may not get to it immediately, but I definitely always try to answer back as fast as possible.
definitely. So Kai, what made you root for the Tampa Bay Lightning?
For the Tampa Bay Lightning, so when I actually met my wife, so I'm originally from New York. So I used to be a Rangers fan for a while. Like I wasn't like I knew the players or like into it kind of thing. I just liked watching them play. I used to go out to MSG and watch them play, all that good stuff. But when I moved down to Florida, I met my wife, who's a diehard Lightning fan, and that was the year that we lost to or Colorado won, I believe. I believe it was 2022, 23, something like that. The Colorado won the Stanley Cup. But anyways, we were sitting here going back and forth arguing, and I was like, the Lightning ain't gonna do nothing. And then they ended up getting eliminated. So I, from then on, I was like, you know what? Like, they're not a bad team. Like, they're actually pretty cool. Like, they had a cool energy or whatever. And then one day, um, so my wife and my mother-in-law both work for Dex Imaging, which if you guys have watched any Bolts or Capitals games, Panther or Predators games, they sponsor a lot of these hockey teams. So their company actually ended up getting them seats inside the bowl. Like I think it was like 3 levels away from the ice um, for their home opener against the Flyers in 23. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it was 23. So when I went to that game and I sat in the atmosphere, I watched the guys play. I locked eyes with Stamkos. I literally looked at him, he looked at me, and I was like, "That's my guy." I was like, "That's the guy I'm gonna root for." Um, so yeah, so I watched them play. I was watching Bassi just do all these crazy moves. I'm watching these guys just skate around and just glide like angels. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is amazing. I love it. So from then on, I literally went home that day and I told my wife, I'm like, I am a diehard Lightning fan from this day forward. So here we are. And then here we are. Everything
I
Lightning.
Me and Goza are huge Rangers fans, so I just gotta say, Goza, she's gone. She's gone. We can't have that, Goza. You know
Oh
this.
yeah. The Islanders are like the Cowboys of hockey.
um, Kai, why don't you tell us a little bit about the ins and outs of eBay? Because I know I'm
Yeah,
curious about it, and I know some of the
yeah,
chat must be curious about it too. So, like, as
absolutely.
a seller, what are the ins and outs of eBay?
Okay. So definitely with eBay, huge pro. eBay is global. eBay is literally has all eyes on it at all times. Like it doesn't matter what time of day, what day it is, Christmas, New Year's, everything. It's open 24/7. So opening an eBay storefront, it's almost too easy, you know? Um, as far as opening one, you can start. There's very many levels to an eBay store that you can have. It just depends on your volume of inventory and your I guess what you're willing to put into it. Um, so like me, I have a basic level starter store. It's very economic. You do have to pay for the bigger levels, so they do give you like uh, so eBay to make their money when you list, they take a percentage of your earnings. So for every item that sells, I believe they take 13.2, like that's their base percentage that they take away from your earnings. But that's what you pay them for using their platform, you know. Most everything else is free. You sign up for free, you open your account for free. Um, but with that, they give you a certain amount of listings per month. So with my listing store, I get 250 per month to list for free. Anything after the 250, there's an insertion fee depending on how much the or depending on what the market is for the card right now. So it's usually a little bit higher a percentage, so it goes up to like 16% that they end up taking. Um, so I try not to go over the 250. And I mean, to be honest, I'm not a huge store. Everything I do is online, so I try to keep everything. I probably in total between my PC and inventory, I maybe have 2,000 cards. So I try to keep it under like between that a little bit under, just so I don't overwhelm myself with too much stuff, and I don't have like inventory that just sits forever. Because to me, I'm not per se doing it full time. I do have a full time job that I go to every day, but um, I do want to make a business out of it. So I put in the extra work. Um, you know, as far as listing can be super easy. You don't need a super spectacular setup. Really, all you need is honestly nowadays everybody usually has an iPhone or a really good Android. Um, but literally you can just use your phone, a little white background. Let me see if I have a couple. I do. You can buy some of these on eBay. I literally bought a box for like $10 at a card show. These little card stands. You can put the card on the stand, put a white background or a back background. I literally have this little ring light that I'm using right now. I bought it at Walmart, 14 bucks. Take pictures, front and back of the card, post it. That's it. Everybody will see it. Um, there's really not much to it as far as eBay. There's a little bit of stuff that you have to like work on when you're doing like a lot of inventory. Like if you're just posting a few cards because like for example, if you know you have a card that's worth 300 bucks and you want to sell it to make the 300 bucks, boom, you can post it. It'll eventually sell for 300 bucks. But if you want to constantly have like a flow of inventory and like a store that's constantly going and selling, you have to be doing like these little extra steps, which are like a huge thing on the eBay algorithm is the titles. So how you list your listings, so your cards or whatever, where you're placing their name, what you're putting on there, if there's enough information, if there's not enough information. Like that could really make or break if your listing sells or not. Because again, with it being global, you also got to understand there's probably 1,000 other sellers with this same card, unless it's like a one of one, that are trying to get either more or less for the money. So you really have to play with the market. All in all, I would say it's relatively easy compared to like working a regular 9 to 5, or or like doing all these other like e-commerce kind of businesses. It's a lot easier. It's not super hard to acquire good cards. It's not super hard to like I said, get them posted and online. There's just little ins and outs of it that I would say do a little bit of research. Definitely don't just jump into it, because you're either gonna undersell your cards or sleeper rookies. I'll definitely get to
For
that. I have a couple
baseball.
here.
For
I have
baseball.
a For baseball.
Yeah.
Oh man, James Wood. James Wood. I'm telling you right now, this kid is gonna go crazy. James Wood is going to go crazy. Just listen to that. Remember I said that. Remember this show next year when he's going crazy. But yeah, man. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But back to it. eBay. Selling on eBay. Like I said, there's a lot of great YouTubers. If you guys have any questions of who I watch or anything, I can guide you over to them. One of my favorites, his name is Mapop Sports, Mapop. Super good guy. His name's Grandy. Uh, all of his videos, he literally has a giant like playlist of all videos dedicated to teaching you about sports cards and how he runs his business. I run my business similar to him, just because it's worked very well. I have one hockey jersey right now. I have a Steven Stamkos. Um, my wife has a Sorelli, and my sister has a Vasilevsky. So hopefully we're trying
Rosa
to get
has
something up.
all 32 teams
Oh wow. Oh
and
wow.
then some.
I've seen a couple of the ones he's posted on his page. They're sick. They're sick. I saw the one he posted, one of the ones from the Four Nations. Dude, nice. That dude is clean. But yeah, man, I mean, like I said, I can point you to them if you have any questions. I can answer them too. But yeah, I mean, it's mostly just about what's like knowing what's hot in the market. They have tons of apps. Wow, 220 jerseys. That's crazy. They have tons of apps nowadays dedicated to the sports card market. There's a website called Sports Card Investor for anybody looking to invest in sports cards and kind of know where they're going. They literally track the market day by day, and they'll tell you if the card went up today, if the card went down today, like where it's sat on the market. It'll tell you the perfect price to set it up for. So you do have to go through these couple extra steps, but I mean, um, it's really not like you don't have to be like a millionaire or have like $1,000 to start. I probably started like my actual business journey part of it with maybe like $100. I got my inventory with $100, and then from there posted that, sold that, made the other $100, went back, and then I just keep doing it over and over again. I mean, for the most these ads, but for the most part, it's not a super huge process or anything. It's not anything that really requires like a lot of time or a huge class or anything. It's pretty simple. Um, eBay though, compared to Whatnot, because I sell on three different platforms right now. I do eBay, I do Whatnot, and I do Instagram. Um, a lot of people recommend Facebook Marketplace. I do not. I have had good deals on there. Personally, I don't think I've had a bad deal on Facebook. Um, but that's probably the biggest pool of scammers. So I would say to be very careful with Facebook. Unfortunately, um, just be careful who you're talking to. Make sure that they're valid people and they're real people. Because I tell you, I probably every time I get on Facebook, there's some kind of scammer horror story about a card that somebody paid $1,000 for, McDavid rookie, and it's not real or it got stolen, or it's very sad to see, because if it was me, I would be very upset. So, um, but those are my three avenues. eBay, like I said, that's probably the one that requires a little bit more attention and focus. Like that one's like a little baby. You kind of have to be with her every day. Like the eBay algorithm really rewards people who post every single day. Me personally, I try to post minimum 10 cards per day. Um, I do have kind of a easier process for it. Me personally, I like to scan the cards for eBay. Makes it so much easier. I use a program called Sports or Card Dealer Pro. Card Dealer Pro, a lot of, I'm not sure if anybody's heard it. If you guys have, it's a huge, huge thing in the market right now. It's changing everything. Basically, you scan your cards, you upload the file, and literally it will scan the card for you and it'll write the name, all the information for the card. All you have to do is research the price real quick, boom, and then from there it instantly lists it to eBay. So I can get 20, 30 listings done in less than an hour, you know?
Awesome.
So, and eBay really rewards people for that. So if that's something you're looking to do, keep that in mind, you know. Make sure that it's something you have time to do every day. Because it is hard. It is hard to sit here and just watch the scanner go back and forth, you know, scanning these cards, flip it over. Because I don't have a very fancy scanner. You can, if you want to invest a little money, you can spend six, 700, $800 on a nice scanner, like a nice Fujitsu that literally just feeds the cards right through. That makes it an easier process. Go for it. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten there yet, so I used a little $40 HP printer that I bought at Walmart. Got a flatbed scanner. I put it right on, scan the cards, no problem. So it works very well. It also scans the surfaces of the cards. So anybody buying the card can see if there's any like hair sticking off the edge. They can see any corners being like dented. You don't really get to see all that in some of the pictures that I've taken. Like if you notice the pictures on my Instagram, those are done in a little studio box that I have. I actually have it right here with me. You can get one of these, $10, $20 on Amazon. It's a little, you can
Nice.
fold it up. It's got a little light in it. Boom, turn it on. So, oh, I dropped the card there. But yeah, it's like all these little things are just little knickknacks that you can get to help you. None of it's super expensive, so like I said, you don't need to be a huge like brick and mortar card shop, and you don't need to be like some huge office that has all these fancy gadgets. Like you can do all of this with literally like this is my little office in my house. Like you can do all of this right out of your home. Get you a box of envelopes from Walmart, a box of bubble mailers. Get you one of these. I have like a couple boxes of these top loaders for when I buy cards. Card Dealer Pro
Um,
is very good. I definitely stand by that. You know, I get stuff like this for like protection. So when you buy from me, your cards will come in one of these. I do also put like freebies in there. So I have like a box down here of mostly like inserts, not very valuable stuff, but stuff of those players. So like if you buy, like I'll show you guys this one real quick, a little preview. So like if you were to buy this Casey Middlestat, right, out of 75, I might throw in some other Buffalo players, other Casey cards, you know, just to kind of make it a little nicer than just getting the one card. You kind of get to go look through it and be like, oh, that's a cool card. That's a cool card. Maybe it's not a card you've seen yet or a card you've been able to get your hands on. So I definitely try to do that as well. Um, so yeah, you know, you'll get one of those. I put it inside the envelope, tape it all up. Super easy. I think I've spent like when I do my supply runs, I maybe spend $30 between like the little what do you call them, labels. Labels, I literally just buy them at Walmart. I'm not sure if that's something they would have up there, but here in the States, we at our Walmarts, we have like you can buy like little labels. They look like this little piece of paper. It's got an adhesive on it.
okay, yeah.
I'll just buy a stack of these, throw it on the top of the printer, hit print, and it'll just print labels for me. I stick these on the envelope. Um, Plenty of ways to do it. You can do it with regular paper and just tape it on there. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways you can do this. It's a very good side hustle. I mean, um, sometimes like there's people that make hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars doing this. So if it's something you want to do on the side, or if it's something that you know you've been kind of looking at, you just don't know yet, I definitely would say to make the leap. It's very fun. Um, if you like selling stuff, it's very easy because it's a market that everybody wants. So it's something that tons of people are looking for. How many NHL arenas have I visited? One, the Tampa Bay Amalie Arena. Well, I actually no, I went to MSG. I went to MSG for a game. But NHL Arena, it was only Amalie.
Robert had a question. Is it more new cards than old cards or about the same?
So for me personally, I try to stick with what I know. That's probably the best piece of advice that I can give you for all of the hobby, whether you collect or whether you sell or whether you do both. I recommend to stick with what you know. I know hockey. I don't know a lot of other sports. I do have a little bit of here and there of other sports for people that like to buy stuff like that, but it's not per se my main focus. My main focus is hockey. If you guys go on my shop, you'll see everything is hockey. Everything that I post is hockey. That's what I know. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about hockey. There's players here that are super famous that I've never heard of. Um, I don't know how to say their names. So, but yeah, my stuff, I would say if I had to give you a time frame, on average is usually from 2004 to right now. So 2004 to 2025. That's kind of where my cards range from. Most of them are '08 and above, but I do have a couple vintage in there. I'm working with a buddy of mine who has a binder full of, I believe it's 1991. It's the full set of rookie cards. It's got like Brett Hull. It's got all these big names in there, and it's a full set in a binder. So I'm trying to get my hands on it to see if I can do anything with it. I mean, this dude, he's the same guy he brought in the Ken Griffey rookie card. I don't know if anybody saw it on my page. I believe Maiden or not sponsored it. He shouted it out too because it was their card of the week. Yeah, it was a Ken Griffey rookie card, the upper deck #1 rookie card. This guy
Awesome.
had it in a binder under his bed, didn't even know. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I want to show you these sports cards." I opened the binder and I see this card. I'm like, dude, hold on, give me some gloves. Like, let me see this card. When I pulled it out, oh my God. So I'm excited to like be able to get my hands on these cards and see them. I haven't seen them in person yet, but I'm very excited to get into that. So I will have a little bit more vintage, hopefully. I'm gonna try to get them graded, so I'll already do that part for you guys. So hopefully they come back 8 or above, so that way you guys can have some of these special older players too. But yeah,
Um,
my
I
stuff
just
is
want to
mostly
give a quick shout out to Troy's Cards for popping in. Thanks, Troy, for coming in. We appreciate you. Thanks to everyone who's watching too. Appreciate you. So that's a little bit about the eBay side. What about? I know you're new on Whatnot. So what about the Whatnot?
so whatnot. Whatnot I highly recommend. Whatnot has probably been one of the most fun platforms. Um, Basically you go on, you kind of have like this application thing you have to start, um, because they have so many different, I guess, departments you could say. So they have like toys, they have sports cards, they have clothes, they have vintage clothes, vintage like memorabilia, sports memorabilia. So you have to like apply for your specific category. That way, your I guess your viewers are more generalized rather than being in this giant pool with all these different other sellers. So you do have to do application. I believe it takes like 2 minutes. My buddy sells Funko Pops. I don't know if you ever heard of the
Yeah.
little toys. So he collects those and sells those. So I helped him open his whatnot shop. Um, and his first show he did like $400 in sales. So he did very, very well for a seller the first time. But it's literally that easy. You go on, you sign up for 2 minutes. They'll send you an email like, hey, you're ready to go. You can schedule your first show. You literally, I just like this. I'm literally using right now my phone. I have a little tripod that I bought from Whatnot, or not Whatnot, from Walmart with a ring light on it. Um, I went to Target and bought like a spice cabinet shelf, and I just put my cards on that, and you guys can see them from there on the Whatnot. And I don't even have to show my face. If you're camera shy or anything like that, you can literally sit behind the camera and just talk, play a little bit of music that you like, show off your cards, show off your collection, and literally you can get tons of cards sold in minutes. Um, Whatnot has while you're on live, you can do uh, like live auctions. You can also do buy it now. So like, um, let's just say if I was doing a show right now and I was like, okay, like this card is for sale, but Dan was like, hey, do you have any Tampa Bay Lightning because I want to buy Lightning, I can be like, okay, yeah, sure, and then I'll pull this one out and I'll show him this one. I'll be like, oh, okay, look, I got this one, and if I know that it's worth more than whatever I'm auctioning for, I can be like, hey Dan, like I'm selling it for $20 if you're interested. And if Dan likes it, he'll be like, cool. So I can just drop it for $20 and he doesn't have to compete. So if I know somebody's gonna buy something, I'm not gonna make them compete. That's just me personally. I would hate to compete, especially if we agree on a price. Like if I say, hey, I'll give you 15, and you're like, yeah, that's cool. And then it goes up for auction and somebody bids 16. Now you have to spend more money to get the card you want.
Yeah.
So for me, that's not really a thing. So if you personally request a card, I'll set it aside and put it in the buy it now. But for the most part, I'll run auctions. Usually, like if you have a ton of inventory, you can run dollar auctions. So a lot of like singles and stuff that are only worth like $1, you can run those for $1. Sometimes people will bid even more depending on the player. Like if you pull a Sidney Crosby up or Ovechkin, people are gonna go crazy. It doesn't matter the card. It could be a base card. They're gonna buy it. So yeah, you just put it up. Like I said, you get yourself one of these couple of these little stands like this, and you put the cards on there. You show them out, and yeah. So like this, you just talk to people. You let them know about the card. People will be in a live chat, so they can text you and be like, "Hey, I want this or I want that." But that's probably one of the faster methods. Like if you want to get inventory out quick, and you can do a 3-hour show and probably make like 120 sales. You know what I mean? Like
Nice.
Like you can ship out 120 orders. Like I've had days where I've had to make multiple mail trips because I just couldn't fit it all in one box. And like I didn't want to walk in there like this. So I would take like boxes at a time of just all kinds of envelopes. Yeah, like I said, a huge investment is one of these guys. You can fit multiple cards in here. So like I love using these. So like if somebody buys like multiple cards in one show, you can literally just like stack them all in here and they just pay for one label. Put these all in one envelope and they pay for one label. Rather than
Nice.
like on eBay where you have to pay per label. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean it's definitely a super fun avenue. It doesn't get a lot of eyes because only people who know what Whatnot is use Whatnot. The bigger side of it is usually like the baseball. So that is really like what gets a lot of views. Hockey doesn't have a lot of views. So like when I do a show, I probably get like maybe 10 or 12 people in the show. There are a couple breakers that I know that are super popular that get a lot more. So it really just depends on you and putting yourself out there.
So
Yeah.
on Whatnot, like, does it take in consideration Canadian to US dollars?
Yes, absolutely. So Whatnot actually makes the whole process very easy for you and the seller. They will do all kinds of so if you're buying from Canada, it will show you the shipping for Canada. It will show you if you're paying in Canadian, it'll show you like the price in Canadian. So Whatnot does all of that for you.
Okay.
You really don't have to do anything. You literally just have to sit there, watch the show, enjoy, and then just click buy if you like to buy. But that's really it. And I mean, most of the streamers, if you're a buyer, most of the streamers on there are super, super fun. Again, like anything, just be very careful. Um, Read their reviews. Reviews on eBay and Whatnot are super public for a reason. Um, Look through it. If you don't find a bad one, then you know it's good. If you find a bad one, then kind of like, hey, that's a red flag. Because honestly, it's not very hard. I've kept 100% positive feedback on eBay for a year now. I've had literally one card that was bad. Everybody else was totally fine. So um, that's a big thing too. If you're gonna do either avenue, definitely do what you can to keep your feedback high. It's like having a store or something. You don't want bad reviews. Make sure people are liking what you have. So when somebody else does the same thing and they're looking at it like, okay, let me check his reviews. If they see bad reviews, they're not gonna like that. So definitely, if you want to be a seller, if you want to be out there, you have to keep good reviews. Get the good supplies, get the team bags, put a little bit of extra work in there. You know what I'm saying? Get some stickers made or something, throw them in there, something like that. People love that.
And when it all comes down, it's all about customer service. If you
Absolutely.
provide that
It's
good
about
customer
connecting.
service, they're going to come 100% back, and they're going to
Yeah.
tell someone else, then that someone's going to tell someone. So
Absolutely.
word of mouth.
I'm a huge person, especially in this hobby, guys. The hobby at the end of the day is about connecting. It's about meeting people. You know, uh, like this relationship with Dan, like this was all done because I started a sports card journey and he started a hockey journey, and we both met in the middle. So who you never know who you might meet. I've met a few celebrities at card shows, people I never thought I'd meet. I've made all kinds of friends and super cool like people just to work with in general. So definitely create connections. You never know.
Goes, what's the craziest card you have ever had in your collection or sold on eBay or whatnot? And thanks for coming in, Christopher. Appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely. So the craziest card. So I haven't gotten anything super crazy. Um, the craziest card that I've seen in person or like held was probably that Ken Griffey, just because it was immaculate. I mean, this is probably the most expensive card I've ever held at the moment. Um, but my collection right now doesn't have anything huge. Nothing that big, maybe a few $100s if anything. Um, but nothing crazy. I have cards that I have here to show you guys in a little bit. Um, that I thought were super cool or that really stood out to me when I was looking at them. But no one of ones or like super, crazy, anything like that. I am on the hunt for everybody watching. I am on the hunt for the new Nikita Kucherov Gold Outburst. Okay. I have to do a little math first, but I am going to be dropping a bounty soon on that Nikita Kucherov. So if anybody finds it in the new series too, let me know. Okay? 'Cause we will make a deal. I will cash you out for that card. But yeah, I mean, right now, like I said, I don't have anything too crazy. Dan, if you like, I can go ahead and go with the cards and show
Yeah,
you
I'm
what
going
I
to put you
have.
up on the big screen. And why don't you show us a little bit of your PC collection and some of your
Absolutely.
stuff that you got posted? I'm just going to pull you up on the
Absolutely.
big screen here. So just bear with me.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no worries, no worries.
You just got to figure it out.
No worries, my man.
If some of you guys haven't known, StreamYard switched a little bit, so it's kind of
Yeah,
awkward for
this
some
is
of
the
the
first time
stuff.
I've done this, so this is all new to me. So here you are. But yeah, guys. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of my collection first. Some of the things that I acquired, like I said, that either stood out personally to me or were just like super super cool. So this first one I've already pulled it up. It's the Braden Point Young Guns. So anybody that collects Tampa Bay Lightning knows how rare it is to get this card, especially in this good of a condition. I mean, this thing, if you can see those corners, this thing is an absolute beauty. I'm trying to get the glare out of the way from the room. But
It's so hard with the top loaders; it's going to glare no matter how
yeah,
we show it.
but yeah, that one, yeah, the 2016 Young Gun. So this one was I got this one very recently actually. I was at a card show probably a couple weeks ago when I was supposed to do the first show. I was at a card show early that morning trying to get some stuff for that night, and um, just to restock my inventory and stuff, and actually met this super super cool seller at the show. His name is Colson Collects on Instagram. He's a Leafs fan from Tampa, and then isn't that funny? But I ended up staying at his booth for like 2 hours, and I ended up spending all my money at his booth to restock. He had so much nice hockey cards, and he actually ended up giving me this Braden Point um, for a really good price. I mean, I think I got it for like $10. So he threw it in there, and I was super excited about it. I've been looking for that card forever, and everywhere that I found it was super, super expensive out of my budget. But um, yeah, that's the first one. This next one, I've shown it to Dan already. This is actually a special gift for Dan. He's a huge Alex Barre-Boulet collector. So I've been holding
That
on
I
to this one for a little bit until I can send it over to him. It is 22 or 21, 22 stature. It is numbered to 199, and it is an on-card auto.
It's so beautiful.
Super,
I've been
it's such a
watching like
beautiful card.
eBay for this card too.
I know. But yeah, so that one I bought for Dan. Dan is a very special friend of mine who's been helping me since the very beginning. So it was the least I can do for my buddy.
And
Like I said, what's
Goes
the
is
point of
already starting to take the Leaf shots already.
Ooh. But all right, so this next one is actually the topic of the night. So this next one is a game used Yanni Gourde jersey that I got. I actually found this one on eBay. This one's game used from 2019-2020, so the same year that they made the cup run. I'm
Nice.
not sure what game exactly it's from, but it's off Series 1, so I would assume it's early on in the season. Let's see a couple more ones that I have here. This one is super cool. So he's not wearing the Lightning uni, and I think he's one of the most underrated Lightning goalies that I've played. Everybody talks about Vassy. Yes, Vassy's the best, but everybody talks about Ben Bishop, but nobody ever talks about Nikolai Khabibulin. And I got one of his first Russian rookie cards with his name in Russian,
That's
and it's not.
awesome.
So I actually found this card at a card shop, and his number 4,118 out of 7,000. And it's one of his rookie cards when he played for CSKA. I don't know how to say it. CSKA, maybe? I don't know. But the Russian league. So it was one of his first rookie cards that he signed. So that one was very special to me. I've always loved Nikolai Khabibulin. People called him the Bulin Wall. I mean, this guy was amazing. He was doing Vassy saves before Vassy, you know? So he really gave teams a run for their money back in 03, 04 for sure. So some of these other ones that I have here just to kind of show the rest of it. I have four left here that I want to show off.
Yeah.
So this is another kind of Lightning player that nobody really talks about. It's Boris Kachuk.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have his Future Watch autograph. Not a lot of people talk about him. I feel like he wasn't necessarily like one of the bigger names at the time, especially because his breakout season was 21-22, another one of our cup runs. So I can't imagine that a rookie that year was having a lot of spotlight on him.
No.
Which I can see it being the exact same thing happening for like Connor Geeky if we were to make another cup run, or Emil Lilleberg. I just don't see them being a part of that team yet. So, but I think he contributed a lot to the Bolts. He was a great player. He still is a great player. I'm not sure what team he plays on now.
Kachuk is on Chicago, I do believe.
Chicago, right? Okay, I thought so. Um, Being from New York as well, guys. Like I said, I don't just collect hockey. I collect a little bit of everything else. So I was actually able to find this one. And I'm gonna sit on it because I feel like this year is actually gonna go pretty crazy. I found this Oswaldo Cabrera, Topps Finest, rookie autograph, and I got it for absolutely dirt cheap. I mean, I got it for maybe like $5 for an on-card auto, and the dude, the dude that told me he was like, yeah, hold on to it for a while. I think I'm gonna hold on to it. I feel like in a couple years, this card could definitely be worth a couple hundred.
Yeah, definitely.
It just depends on the kind of season that the kid has. Um, but I think he's got a lot of potential, as well as Aaron Judge. So I collect a lot of Aaron Judge too. So if you guys have anything Aaron Judge, hit me up. So this
Goza
next
says the
one,
Yankees suck.
he's a Yankees hater. Don't be mad because we're good. Don't be mad because we're good. But so this next one is actually two of my current favorite players and probably all-time favorite players. It's a dual jersey relic of Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov.
Nice. That's a
So it's
nice
got
one. I like how they have the away and the home.
right. So I thought it was super cool. It's got both sides, so it's got away and home, and it's got, like I said, two of the favorite players, Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point. I found this one. Nothing really special about this card. I just thought it was super cool. Um, you don't see too many of these out there for Lightning. You see a lot of these for like McDavid and Draisaitl. You'll see these for like people like that, like Lane Hudson and Patrick Laine. Like I've seen those, but not too many for the Bolts. So it was pretty cool seeing that one. This last Bolts card that I'm going to show you guys is probably one of the most special ones that I have. Um, so like I said, my wife is a huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan. She is a huge Sorelli fan. She literally will watch all the games just to get a Sorelli Selly. That's what she calls them, Sorelli Sellies. Um, so when we started this hockey stuff, was very close to around the time of our anniversary, right? So my original idea, I was trying to get her a signed Sorelli jersey, but I could not find one. There was one dude that had one, but when I went to go look at it, he had already sold it. So I wasn't able to get it. So I went onto Whatnot, and I was like, let me see if I can find her a card. And I was actually able to find this super, super sick card for super cheap. The guy that sold it to me, I wish I could remember his name. It was so long ago. Um, but he sold me this card for really cheap. I I when I gave it to my wife, she was ecstatic. It's a Anthony Sorelli rookie autograph, and it's number 37 out of 299.
That's nice.
So it's one of the very first ones he signed. The autograph is immaculate. Like the pen mark is all the way through. The card is beautiful, amazing condition. Like I said, I got it for a good price. So it makes it all better. Um, and yeah, she loves it. She says it's the only card I'm never allowed to get rid of. And I probably won't. Like I probably won't get rid of any Bolts cards. Um, but yeah, those are the ones that I have. I also do want to show you guys just a couple of cards that I have in the shop currently available, just so you guys can kind of see firsthand without having to like go through my entire page and see what I have. Um, I'll show you kind of the stuff that I get. So I've shown this one a lot already. It's like this one's out of 75. Nothing super crazy. Casey Middlestat. He just got traded and was
Yeah.
scoring actually. He just scored too. Or he did something. I don't think it was either a score or a block, but he was working.
So the card
Uh,
price already went up, is what you're saying.
oh, absolutely. So that card price for sure is gonna go up. Like that's another thing with eBay. You know, card prices change day to day. So with eBay, because it's a fixed market, you constantly have to go back and check these cards. That's why I say like these apps like Sports Card Investor and all that stuff collects. There's an app that you can get on your phone where you can scan the cards and it'll pop the price right up. It's definitely good to stay on top of these things, kind of like the stock market, so that you can see where your card is. So yeah, like the more they score playoff games, during the Four Nations face off, shout out to Canada by the way. I went up for Canada for the Four Nations. I was like, everybody's like, bro, you're not gonna go for US? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go for the team that literally birthed hockey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go for the US, even though
I
they were
can
great.
tell you, out of all Canadian fans, we were very iffy on Jordan Bennington.
I was pretty confident in Jordan Bennington, although USA did have, I would say, harder scorers. Like they definitely had more snipers on their team. But I think he put up a wonderful, wonderful battle. I mean, they went away with the championship, so that says it
Yeah.
all. Um, but yeah, so this next card I'll show you. Actually, this is from the recent OPG. I thought it was super, super cool. So I pulled out to show you guys. It's one of the hotter rookies right now. So it's a Brad Lambert marquee rookie, and it is one of the short printed green ones. It is the rainbow green. It is numbered to 33.
He's
So
going to be a
30,
stud player. That is
he
one guy
is.
I watched on the World Juniors, and I fell in love with him.
His and his market, I'm telling you right now, for all of my investors, his market is very high. I sold his outburst for like $40.
I have
Raw.
his young gun.
Yeah, that I sold the Young Gun outburst. I pulled it in a hobby box a while back. Dude, sold for like $40 and they only go up. So this is a super cool one. It is available in the shop right now. Um, I have this one. This one, I really just like. I feel like I should keep it for the PC, but I feel like I'm not a big enough fan to hold on to it. Um, but this is a Johnny Gaudreau, RIP to Johnny and his brother. I felt like this was only right to putting it on here. It is a jersey patch from the Global Series they played the year before. All that stuff happened. Um, so it is game used as well. So I do have it up on the store for a collector that is a huge Johnny Gaudreau fan, but I've been meaning to post out lately. Anybody who is an absolute diehard Johnny Gaudreau fan and would love to have this card in their collection, let me know. I'll give it to you. I do not mind. This should go out to a beautiful home, somebody who's gonna enjoy this card, and really
Definitely.
like enjoy his memory. So I absolutely, if you like this card, if you want it for your collection, if it's absolutely what you need, let me know. I will absolutely get this out to you. Now it's available in the shop if you guys wanna, invest in it. Definitely a good investment. But wanted to show you guys that one. Super special. I thought that one was super cool too. It's from the Global Series when they played in Poland. So that was awesome. Um, this next one is one of the hotter rookies. I'll show you both of them because they actually both go together. I actually pulled them both from the same box, which I thought was super cool. So it is Mishkov and Ivan Fedotov.
Nice.
They're best forward or they're hot forward right now, and they're hot goaltender. So I did pull these both out of the same box, both rookie cards. So both of these, I believe, I don't know about Fedotov. I do know Mishkov's. This came out before the Young Guns, so this was technically his first real rookie card. There might have been other sets like the MVP and stuff like that that might have dropped little sets, but these are one of his first like true rookie cards from Upper Deck before the Young Guns. I am on the hunt for the Young Gun as well, so we'll see if we can get that one in the store. But I thought those were pretty cool since they did come together. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, wow, they put both of those in the same pack.
The rarity of
Um,
that to happen too is like one in.
right, like a billion.
Yeah.
So especially with Upper Deck, man, their odds are so ridiculous. So another one here to show you guys, I do have like jersey patches as well, what you saw with the Johnny Gaudreau. Um, but this one is a
Goza,
super
turn away.
nice one.
Turn away, Goza. It's the
Yeah,
Islanders.
turn away goes. You're not gonna like this, but it's a Ilya Sorokin Ultimate Tendies. I mean, this thing is sick. Um, it's a super nice card to look at. Like it's super nice to show off, and he's a very hot goaltender. Like not a lot of
He
people
is.
talk about him. A lot of people talk about Bobrovsky and Shesterkin. They talk about all these other goaltenders, which are great too. But Ilya Sorokin is very slept on. He's very mobile. He's very agile. Um, and he's got a great market too. So for the investors out there, he's got a great market. And the Islanders, I have this one Islanders girl. She loves the Islanders, like die hard. Like she'll buy absolutely anything with the
Must be
Islanders.
Goza's girlfriend, is it?
I have no idea. Her name is Sage on whatnot, but she's super cool. She buys all of my Islander stuff. Yeah, I've been saving that one for her. She hasn't seen it yet. Um, Maybe she'll see the show or she'll hop on next time we're on. But yeah, I have stuff like that. I mean, I have like like some of these cooler looking cards for into like numbered inserts. Here's a Jack Eichel from this year's Allure. It is numbered to 35. So I do
Nice.
try to get when I get numbered cards, I do try to get them pretty low numbered. At least the number that they're out of, just so it seems a little bit more rare. Because out of 1,000 or out of 500, just kind of like, yeah, there's still a lot of people that have that card. But if it's out of 5, out of 10, out of 20, out of 30, you're like, okay, this feels more, special. So I do definitely try to get low numbered cards. Here's another one I'll show you. Thomas Bordelot, another hot rookie. And this one's out of 60. So this is his rookie card. Or one of his rookie cards from Premier. Um, Super good condition. I have it. And guys, a lot of the cards that I have, I sell for under market value. I never sell for more. Doubles or saviors.
And two,
Okay.
I don't know if people know, but like I always try to barter with the eBay sellers too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I mean,
because you never know. Like, they could have a card listed
yeah,
for $4, but you
yeah,
don't know how long it's been sitting there, and they might want to get rid of
exactly.
it.
Exactly. So, to kind of touch on that, there are cards out there, guys. There are a lot of sellers who, like me, need to get rid of inventory. If a card sits for too long and you make me an offer on it, whatever the offer is, I'm taking it. Because at the end of the day, My job is to move inventory, not to make $1 million off these cards. Like I'm not looking to get rich. So at the end of the day, like if the card's $5 and you offer me three, I'm selling it for three. Like it's not a big deal. For the buyer side of it, definitely shoot your offer. I mean, most people, I would say maybe 75% of eBay does best offers, which is a setting that you can add to your listing whenever you like it. Uh, so yeah, and you can even set a reserve price. So if it goes less than that, it'll automatically decline their offers. So you're still getting a good price. But yeah, definitely shoot them a message. Be like, hey, I see that you have this card. I've worked tons of cards. I don't know if you guys can see too much, but I have a Alex Killorn Young Guns up there. Which he was one of my favorite players. He was on our team. Now he's on the Ducks. Um, he he had the card posted for like $12. I was like, ugh, like I don't know, that seems a little steep for me. I messaged him. I was like, dude, I'm a huge Bolts collector. Like, I would love to have this card. What is the absolute bottom line price you would be willing to go to? And he told me, he was like, dude, honestly, if you give me $4, you can take it. $4. He sent me that, and he sent me a silver prism rookie from Panini of Alex Killorn. So you never really
Awesome.
know what could happen. Definitely, like I said, me personally, I accept most offers, even if the card is freshly put up. I accept most offers. Definitely don't be afraid to barter. I mean, that's what people like, you know. But feel free to. At the end of the day, that's why they're called making deals. You know, 'cause at the end of the day, it's a deal that works for the both of us. I know you guys see it a lot on YouTube or on TikTok, on Instagram, with these people will be at these shows and they'll throw out these crazy prices. Oh, like the coin flips. Coin flips are a very real thing. I go to coin. Look, I have my coin right here. I'll do coin flips on Whatnot. It's a little gold coin. So like, Dan could be like, "Hey, flip the coin. If it's heads, I'll give you 500. If it's tails, I'll give you 250." And boom, now you guys made a game out of it. And people love doing stuff. People love to gamble, you know? So definitely barter out there with people, make deals, let people know your offer. The worst they can say is no. But most of the time cards, unless you guys are looking for a one of one, um, most of the time there's tons of other people that have that card. So if you don't make a deal with one person, keep looking, try to find the best deals out there. There's
And
always people making deals.
even when you're making the deal, like if he
Hmm.
doesn't accept, he'll counter offer, and then you can
Yeah,
keep it
absolutely.
rolling until you
Absolutely,
guys
yeah.
agree on the price that you both feel is good.
Right. And like, as kind of like a way to kind of guide you when you are gonna start like sending offers if you're doing it on eBay, kind of look up the card real quick. So like if you want, like I'll do this Thomas Bordello right here. If you want this card, look up on eBay 2022 to 23 Upper Deck Premier Thomas Bordello and then the number that it's out of, or the card number, and then see how much they sold for. eBay has this really nice filter where you can click sold items and it'll tell you when the last one sold, how much it sold for, if it was like if it was sold for offer price, so like if it was posted for 6.99 and it sold for $3, it'll show you that it sold for $3, all that good stuff. So definitely do a little bit of research, especially if you're looking at these jersey patch cards or autograph cards, which are more expensive than your traditional insert or graded cards. Definitely do the math, do the research, look at the cards, ask questions. I get questions all the time. I'll get people that are like, "Hey, can you send me 50 pictures and a video of the card so I can see all angles and corners of it?" Absolutely, you know. Same thing goes for the buyers. If that's something you want, like if you want to see a card, if you want to see every single angle, be like, hey, send me a picture of you like turning the card or like a video. If the dealer really wants to get the card out to you and really cares about what they're doing, they're willing to go through these steps. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these cards are very valuable. Especially if you're going into the market with the bigger name cards. Like if you're trying to buy a $1,000 card or $2,000 card. Like if you're going to the McDavid's, anything McDavid or Ovechkin, like jersey patches, autos, those are all 1,000 and above. So you're spending money. I've seen some of them. I'm watching some of them on eBay right now, and they're at 10,000, 15,000 with bids. So you know, I highly recommend doing the research. Don't get screwed over. It's very easy to get screwed over in a market like this that has to do with internet sales. So just be very careful. Um, Try to, like I said, that kind of ties in with making relationships. That way you know who you trust. You know who you can trust. You know who's out there doing the right thing, who's not, you know. Um, Build reputations with good sellers. Because, like, for example, me, if you build a good relationship with me and you're like, hey, man, I've been looking for a Rupe Hintz card forever. Look, you see what I mean? Or like Dan when he was like, I know he likes Alex Barre. So, you know, here you go. Like I don't mind doing stuff like that. I don't mind doing exclusive stuff for people. Because at the end of the day, it gets my business going and it gets you the card that you wanted. So
And it's
realistically, you know,
like example, I reached out to Kai looking for a card. I was like, Kai, if you see this card, let me know.
mhm,
And when he finds it, he'll give me a shout and let me know.
absolutely, yeah. I have my little book here that I keep all of my stuff in. I write down when I'm on Whatnot and people are asking me for certain players that I don't have. Um, I keep it with me. I take this book with me to shows. So when like people will ask me like, "Hey, what are you looking for?" I'm like, "Hey, look, I need these teams," or if people are trying to sell me lots or stuff like that. Because that's another thing I do too. Like if you can find people who are trying to move big lots quickly, that's a really good way to get nice inventory fast. You know, like I said, it doesn't take a lot of money. You can do this with like $100. You can start a huge inventory, buy a lot, and then move that lot. You know what I mean? I'll show you something that I got out of for out of relationship purposes. So I'm gonna take it out of the wrapper because this card's so cool. So he actually does not play for the NHL anymore. He did not extend his contract. He actually plays for SKA now in the Russian league. But I got this in a trade because the dude really liked me. It is a
Oh,
Evgeny
nice.
Kuznetsov autograph. It is the only one in the world to have been graded right now, and it's rated a 9 by TAG. But yeah, he threw this in a trade. He was a huge Stamkos fan. I found him some good Stamkos cards. Um, I told him about a trade, and he was like, "Yeah." He asked me if I was interested in this, and I was like, "Absolutely." I'm a huge Kuznetsov fan. I love his celly with the bird.
The
You know,
Eagle.
yeah, I love it. Like when he did that, it was just absolutely the most fun. And when people would talk about him when he would do shootouts, the Kuznetsov crawl because he was so slow. Like I loved him. So I was able to get that card in the trade just by hooking this dude up with the card that he liked and just talking to him. And, so definitely, like I said, keep in mind all those things when you're out there doing this stuff. If you want to start a eBay business or whatnot, take the leap of faith. It's super fun. It doesn't require a lot, and you can literally do it from your couch. Like I do this in my living room. You know, like my wife is in the bedroom right now, probably laughing at me. You know, because I'm sitting here just talking hockey with you guys. My mother-in-law the same, but it's literally something, and we do it together too. Like when I buy cards and I buy boxes, like all these boxes you see behind me, I don't even rip them. My family rips them. You know, and they love it just because they know that it's something I love. They like opening the cards too. They like going through and they're like, oh, I pulled this rookie, or I pulled this rookie, or like the autographs and all that stuff. So it's definitely something you can do with your family. I personally don't have any kids yet, but I see a lot of kids in the hobby. They love it. Um, so if you're a dad and you're looking for something to do with your kids, boy or girl, I see a lot of younger girls. I see a lot of girls in general in the hobby as well.
And
So
two, some of the
yeah.
viewers don't know, but like all my base cards, I donate to the hospital to all the sick
Mhm.
kids. So like every single base card I get goes to the hospital, and they love
I
it.
do. Here, I'll show you what I have going on. So this is the box I've started right now. I do something similar, but I do it to it's kind of like a foster home that's around. I kind of want to I have to take this box in, but I have this huge box of all base cards. You can see how much they are. Of every single box that I've opened, I save all these base cards. Sometimes there's pretty cool cards in here. I'll show you. Like there's stuff like this. There's football in here. There's base and So I'll take all of this and give it out to the kids. I'll make like little packs for them to open when I do like live card shows, stuff like that. So yeah, kids are a huge part of the hobby as well. So, like I said, if you have kids, if you're a dad or a mom, and you're looking for something to do with your kids, super huge way. I mean, and it's not just sports. They have anime cards. They have Disney cards. Topps literally has a line of Topps Disney Chrome, like, and they're super cool looking cards. Um, Disney has a trading card game right now called Lorcana. So, if you like Disney stuff, they have all their little characters on trading cards. If you like sports, they have every sport known to man. They have, I have racing cards. I have, here actually, let me see if I can find right here. I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. If anybody likes watching anime, so like every now and then I'll buy a couple. Like they're pretty cool looking. If you like these kind of
Nice.
like cartoons and stuff.
They're
So
like TCG cards.
right, exactly, and like Pokemon and stuff. So like there's a bunch of different avenues you can do with this. Like you don't just have to like sports, or have to like jump into sports. It's something anybody can do. But yeah, I mean, I just love it, man. It's super fun. I love being able to get all these cards to people. Like I said, I was able to show you guys some of these. Like I'm literally looking over at the cards because they're so nice. You know, like I love that part of it. That part of it is something that'll probably never go away.
And two, you guys, if you do start eBay, you never know. Like, take a leap of faith, like you said, because he reached out to me and I
Yeah,
couldn't buy
absolutely.
anything but a sponsor. He's like, I was like,
Yeah,
you want to sponsor my show? Like, I'm starting a show. We can grow together. And I mean, lo and
yeah.
behold, look at us now.
It's definitely something that you, like I said, you can share with you. You can literally share it with anybody. I was telling Dan, I shared it with everybody at work that they're gonna be on the show, so they're probably all watching right now. What's up, everybody? But you know, they loved it. They think it's a cool idea. Like all of this is very fun, and it's not something that's not talked about. Like everywhere you go is sports. There's some kind of sport. It doesn't matter what country you're in. They play either soccer, baseball, hockey, something like that. So it's very fun, and it's easy to start conversation. Like I said, if you're someone that kind of, because I know right now a big thing is like anxieties and social anxieties. If you're someone that has a hard time talking to people and stuff like that, this is a very good hobby to meet a lot of people. I've had I've been blessed to have met over 600 people on my Instagram that have followed me, and everybody else that follows me on eBay and whatnot, and all that stuff. Other beautiful people I've been able to meet. I mean, you really can't get that anywhere else. And we just sit there, we talk about sports. I've met so many Bolts fans in the Tampa area that I didn't even know existed. That now we talk about Bolts. We talk about going to games. We talk about all this stuff. You know, so it's definitely a good way to get yourself out there, get yourself out of trouble, like Dan mentioned. Definitely keeps you out of trouble. And for kids, even for kids, if you want to teach your kid about a little bit of business, I've seen so many kids on whatnot that are selling cards and making money, and kind of learning the economic, or having some kind of economic structure for when they get a little older, they have a job, they kind of already have an idea of how to take care of their money. They have an idea of what it costs because they have to sit there and sell these cards and ship all these cards with the help of their parents. But you know, um, so it brings opportunity to anybody, no matter the age. So I
Um,
love it.
well, guys, we appreciate you guys all being here tonight on a special Saturday night. We appreciate Kai for coming. I'm glad we could finally make it work. I know we
Absolutely,
were going to
absolutely.
do
Me
it
too.
one Friday, but I got ill and I was so disappointed because I kind of let him down. But I'm glad we
No,
got
you're
to
good, man.
reschedule it.
We're
So,
good. I'm here. I'm here. I definitely we're definitely gonna plan to do it more. Hopefully maybe we can do one with all of us on it, and have a nice big show, have some fun. Uh this definitely was my first time. I genuinely enjoyed it. So thank you for having me here, Dan. Thank you for everybody who tuned in to watch. I had tons of fun showing you guys my stuff, telling you guys a little bit about me. That was super fun. So yeah, I'm running to come back and do it again. So I'm
and
definitely.
just so you
Yep.
guys know, me and Kai have something in the works planned. It's just going to take a little while, but as soon as we get
Mhm.
it, we'll both make the announcement to
Mhm.
everyone on Instagram, and I'll make it on YouTube and on the channel. But stay
Yeah.
tuned because we got something in the works that you guys are really going to enjoy.
Absolutely. Stay in the loop, guys. You guys definitely aren't going to want to miss up everything that's coming up. Like you said, a lot of big stuff without saying too much, a lot of big stuff coming. Most of it is for you guys, for everybody that shows love to us. Um, so, if you do your part and come show love to us, we're gonna show you love back. So just remember that when you're watching either my live whatnot show or you're watching Dan on a Friday night, you know, um, just remember that we care and we love you guys too. So we're definitely gonna start doing stuff for you guys.
And like I said, if you guys can't find Kai on Instagram, reach out to me and I will send you his contacts because me and him talk maybe 3 to 4 times a week. We're
Yeah,
always
absolutely.
communicating, so
Yeah, and
feel
if you
free to
do
reach
find
out.
me, like I've mentioned, please don't be afraid to hit me up. Like I said, I may not get to it immediately, but I will at some point. Just be like, hey, watch the show, blah blah. I usually try to follow everybody back, but that's hard because I get a lot of followers at once. But please shoot me a message. I will put you in my primary inbox, and you can shoot me a message whenever you like and make deals. We can talk. We can talk about teams. You can talk crap about the Bolts, and I'll talk crap about your teams. Please, like I'm
And
here for it.
I'll send you it on text. I'll send you Kai's Instagram on text. But no, thanks for coming, Kai. Appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely, man.
We're definitely going to be doing this again. Hopefully, we can do it. Maybe we can schedule it once a month or something. Kind of get an update on how
Yeah,
things are going with you and
yeah,
everything.
absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely do that, and one of these maybe I can show you guys like the process of like listing cards and stuff for anybody that was interested in that part. I can do a little bit more on that. Um, and like I said, I do get a lot of fresh inventory, so it would be pretty cool to kind of once a month show you guys everything that's been coming through the shop and kind of give you guys an update and like behind the scenes of what's going on over here. That way, if you
Dig
start doing it yourself, you kind of have a way in already, right?
Dig's a little bit old. He doesn't know what Instagram is. I'll tell you later, Dig. Okay.
It's like it's the Facebook for young people.
We'll discuss this later, Dig.
There you go.
But
There you
no,
go.
guys, thank you all for coming tonight. We appreciate
Thank you
you.
guys.
Like I said, we are both not here without all of you guys. So make sure you go check out Kai and his whatnot and his Instagram and also his eBay. I have his links in my description of every show, so you can click it and go right over to his eBay channel. So definitely check him out. Pick him up. Like I said, use the code DMHockey88. Sometimes we work together and we'll get codes for a month. Like where if you
Yeah.
buy two, you get one free as well. So
hmm
definitely keep checking that out as well.
The 25% off is available all the time. So if you want to use it, and you can use it more than once, it's for everybody that watches the show. So if you're always watching the show, feel free to use it more than once. Keep using it as many times as you'd like. But I do drop, like you said, random flash sales. Just to touch on that a little bit, I do drop random flash sales every now and then, 50% off, 20% off, buy two get one free, buy five get four free. Um, so just be on the lookout for that stuff. And I'll usually let him know about it first so he can tell all of you guys. So just be on the lookout for all that stuff. All that stuff is active all the time.
Definitely.
Mhm.
But no, thank you all for coming again tonight. Kai, I know you watched the show. So
Absolutely.
as it is for a custom here, the guest closes out the show like you would be closing out. Well, for you, it'd be your whatnot stream. So we're
Right,
gonna let you
absolutely.
close out the show tonight.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, to everybody that showed up and watched the show, to everybody that was asking questions and engaged. Thank you guys. Like Dan said, we cannot be here without y'all. So huge shout out to y'all. Stay tuned for all the next upcoming show. I believe Dan is gonna have a show Friday.
Yep, Friday
Friday.
with my good
Um,
friend Ultimate Sports Cards, Brandon.
yep. I am planning possibly a pop up tomorrow on whatnot, so I'll probably get on for like an hour maybe if I have time available. But if not, I do have a show scheduled Monday morning at 11:30. That's usually when my shows are. I do them before work. So if you guys have time, like on your break or something, and want to hop in, feel free to do that. I sell a lot of cards for $1. But yeah, so tune in on those shows, guys. They're all gonna be super fun. And other than that, you guys have a great and beautiful night.
And remember, mention that you've seen him on the show, and maybe he'll cut you a little
Absolutely.
bit more of a deal.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We'll make it work for you.
All right, guys, have a
Absolutely.
great night. See you on Friday.
All right, guys.